America. And yes, as you say, new romance. We've seen this new romance be made official. Kim Kardashian and Lewis Hamilton, they hard launched their relationship at the stadium, Louise.
Well, that was exciting, wasn't it, to see that?
Kanye West, Kim Kardashian, and Lewis Hamilton are in the middle of a love triangle drama that feels like it was cooked up in a Hollywood writer's room. Except this is real life, and it is absolutely bonkers. Three of the most famous people on the planet have known each other for over a decade. They have posed together at fancy award shows, shared dinners, and even celebrated holidays as one big happy family. Fast forward a few years, and now two of them are dating while the third is losing his mind about it on social media. If this were a movie, critics would say the plot is too ridiculous to believe. But here we are, living in it. So let us rewind to the beginning because the backstory here is everything. Kanye and Kim were once the most talked about couple in the world. Paparazzi followed their every move, magazines fought over their wedding photos, and the internet collectively lost its mind every time they stepped out looking fabulous. Lewis Hamilton was right there in the mix with them. The Formula One superstar was not just some random celebrity acquaintance. He was legitimately part of the crew. They hit red carpets together, looking cool and untouchable. Hamilton even spent Easter at their house, hunting for eggs with the kids and everything. You do not get an Easter invite unless you're basically family. Now here's where things get juicy. Behind the scenes, apparently Kanye had some suspicions about Lewis way back then. Sources claim he would get jealous and accuse Kim of flirting with the racing champ. Kim was probably just being her usual friendly self, but Kanye's imagination was running wild. Nothing ever happened between them, obviously. Kim was married, Lewis was respectful, and life went on. But Kanye filed that suspicion away in his brain somewhere, waiting for a day he probably hoped would never come. Well, that day came. Kanye and Kim got divorced, as the whole world watched in real time. It was messy and public and exactly what you would expect from a breakup that huge. Kim moved on with her life, raising their 4 kids, running her businesses, and staying in the spotlight because that is just what she does. Kanye moved on too, marrying Bianca Censori in a ceremony that people are still trying to figure out. And Lewis Hamilton kept doing what Lewis Hamilton does, winning races and looking cool in expensive sunglasses. Then the rumors started bubbling up. Kim and Lewis were spotted together at a fancy hotel in the English countryside, then again in London, then again in Paris. Nothing was officially confirmed because celebrities love to keep us guessing, but sources started whispering that yes, something was going on. Nothing too serious yet, just 2 old friends exploring whether there might be something more there. The internet collectively gasped. Lewis Hamilton and Kim Kardashian? Wait, wasn't he friends with Kanye? Oh, this is going to be good. Here is where the story takes a turn from private frustration to public spectacle. Because Kanye West does not do quiet. He does not do private venting sessions with close friends where everyone nods sympathetically and then moves on. No, Kanye does everything in front of an audience of millions. It is part of his brand, for better or way worse. If you have been following celebrity drama for a while, you probably remember the Pete Davidson situation. When Kim dated the comedian briefly, Kanye unleashed absolute chaos on him. There were social media posts every single day. There were music videos featuring cartoon violence against a Pete Davidson lookalike. There were fans getting riled up and sent after him. It got so bad that Pete Davidson reportedly needed therapy to deal with the constant harassment. It was dark and uncomfortable and went way beyond normal celebrity feud stuff. Now here we go again. History is repeating itself in the most predictable way possible. Kanye reportedly commented on one of Kim's Instagram posts with a message that made everyone's jaw drop. Why are you dating Lewis? Give me back my daughter. The comment vanished quickly, deleted before most people even saw it, but the internet is faster than that. Screenshots flew everywhere. Within hours, everyone was talking about it. Within days, it became another chapter in the ongoing saga of Kanye's public outbursts. Lewis Hamilton, meanwhile, is apparently doing everything possible to stay out of the line of fire. Reports say he has no appetite for a public feud with Kanye whatsoever. Smart guy. Hamilton has spent his whole career building a reputation as a focused athlete who lets his driving do the talking. Getting dragged into a messy celebrity drama with someone who has a history of going nuclear is probably his worst nightmare. It is kind of funny to think about how different they are. Years ago, Hamilton actually said in an interview that he admired Kanye's boldness, and wished he could be that electrifying sometimes. But he also said he had to be more careful because of sponsors and public image. That caution is paying off big time now. He gets to quietly live his life while the drama swirls around other people. And then there is us, the audience. The ones scrolling, sharing, commenting, and clicking on every new headline. Without us, these feuds would just be private arguments between people who used to know each other. But because we pay attention, they become spectacles. They become content. Experts say part of why people get so into celebrity drama is that it gives a sense of community and identity. It feels like picking a team in sports. You decide who is right, who is wrong, who is the villain, and who is the victim. It is entertaining in a way that feels harmless, like watching a reality show where the stakes are low because it is not your life. But here is the thing. When kids get mentioned, when harassment goes too far, when people need therapy because of online attacks, does it still feel harmless? That is the question that hangs over all of this. By reading stories like this and talking about them with friends, are you just having fun with pop culture, or are you feeding into something that causes real damage? There's no easy answer, but it is worth thinking about. Kanye has talked openly about his struggles with bipolar disorder and has apologized for impulsive behavior in the past. But for the people on the receiving end of his outbursts, apologies can only do so much. The words are already out there. The damage is already done. Pete Davidson moved on and seems happy now. But that does not erase what happened. Kim keeps living her life, but she has to navigate everything carefully to avoid setting off another round. Lewis Hamilton is probably just hoping everyone forgets he is involved so he can go back to racing. This whole messy situation leaves everyone with some uncomfortable thoughts about the culture of celebrity. These feuds thrive on a mix of ego, old pain, and an audience that cannot stop watching. Kanye's reaction shows that even years after a divorce, some feelings do not just disappear, especially when an old friend is involved. But how those feelings get handled makes all the difference. Talking to a therapist about it, that is healthy. Ranting to friends in private, also fine. Leaving a public comment demanding your child back because your ex is dating someone, that is a whole different level. It drags everyone down with it. So as this story continues to unfold, with new reports and new reactions dropping every few days, it is worth stepping back and looking at the bigger picture. What do you actually want from the famous people you follow? Do you want them to be perfect role models who handle every personal struggle with grace and dignity? Or do you want them to be messy and real, even when that messitis hurts other people? That is probably the biggest question of all. So that is where things stand right now, messy, complicated, and probably not over yet. Who knows what will happen next week or even tomorrow with this group? If you enjoyed hanging out and hearing about all this celebrity drama, go ahead and hit that like button. It really helps more than you would think. And if you want to keep up with all the wild stories coming down the pipeline, subscribe so you do not miss a thing.